Is Brian Callahan crazy? That's what we're going to be talking about on today's edition of Titans Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper, and Brian Callahan, the Titans head coach, he said today in his press conference, now we have not hit OTAs yet, that'll be next week, but Will Levis and Cam Ward are splitting reps at QB1. That means 50-50, completely 50-50. And I don't think there is a single Titans fan out there. And make note, I went to the University of Kentucky. Will Levis played quarterback for 2 years. For 2 years, he was my quarterback. And still looking at that, I laugh and I'm like, why does he even have a shot? And this is just crazy to think that he is going to even compete for the starting quarterback QB1 job. Here's what Brian Callahan had to say. He said, talking about both Cam Ward and Will Levis in a QB battle. They both handled it really well. I've been pleased with their demeanor and their approach. Will has done a really nice job of getting better at things he needed to get better at. Well, if that isn't a shot if I have ever heard that, yeah. I felt pretty good about his offseason work and how he has come back. At first, when I read that this morning and I saw that they're splitting reps, I was like, why? There is no need at all to have Will Levis compete for the starting job at quarterback. You drafted Cam Ward number 1. Every single quarterback that gets drafted number 1 overall usually starts day 1. So just put him in the system and get him ready. But this is really no surprise. And you've heard it from Brian Callahan, and you've heard it from Mike Borgonzi. And if we go back a couple months ago, before the NFL draft, Chad Brinker talked about this when there was possibly a Will Levis trade rumor going on. And I think that report was from Josina Anderson. And he said, that is a false report. We have not contacted anybody, and nobody has contacted us about Will Levis. I don't think anything has changed from the time somebody asked me a month ago. What's the plan with Will Levis? The plan is Will Levis, he will have a chance to compete for the starting job next year. And if you look at Will Levis's stats, to me that doesn't speak very starting franchise quarterback type talent. 13 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. And that wasn't his rookie year. That was his second year starting. We go back to 2023 and he played a couple of those games. The big game that sticks out to me was that Miami Dolphins game where he looked incredible and he made that comeback. That solidified himself as the Titans starting quarterback. But now fast forward to 2025, he doesn't look great. He makes boneheaded decisions. We've seen the memes of him on his head like this on his knees. We've seen him try to toss that. There is just too many memeable moments for Will Levis to say that he should be the starting quarterback. Just way too many memeable moments, and he's given his chance. And I know the Titans roster wasn't that great, but should we really be having him as the starter? I don't even think he should get a chance, but we're going to get into just why I think this could help Cam Ward. Honestly, I don't think it's going to be a chance, but we'll get into why I think this helps Cam Ward in a second. But I'm going to ask you guys this question, because this is what I thought when he first went into what happened when I first read this. And you heard it at the beginning of the video. Is Brian Callahan crazy for having these two split reps? Type C for crazy or type N for normal? And I thought he was crazy. Like, just name Cam Ward the starter, man. We know he's going to be it. But then I started to think, well, how is this going to benefit Cam Ward? And you put your little thinking cap on, and you're like, all right, yeah, this could be a good thing for Cam Ward. And Brian Callahan spoke about this, and he praised Cam Ward. He said, Cam has done a really nice job of integrating himself. A lot of that is knowing the play call, having able to spit it out in the huddle, having the tempo, getting familiar with the receivers, what the words mean, how to call it, and how your snap count sounds. All of that stuff has been really well done on his part. Well, the first thing, if I go to that tweet and then I go to what Brian Callahan talked about, Will Levis, completely different. Completely different. He was praising Cam Ward. He was like, yeah, Will Levis has gotten a little bit better. But Brian Callahan doesn't want to make the same mistake that he made back in 2024, not 2023. That's a typo on my part. 2024 when he became head coach. And what I mean by that is the second Brian Callahan became head coach of the Titans, his first move, the first move that he made was Will Levis is our starting quarterback. He didn't give any opportunity. Now I know Malik Willis left the team. Ryan Tannehill's contract was up. But he didn't give anybody the other opportunity to come in and challenge Will Levis, even after Will Levis played only a couple games. Like, yeah, sure. He showed some talent. He showed that he could start multiple games. He started multiple games in 2023 with Mike Vrabel as the head coach. But did he really prove anything? I named one game. And you could type it in the comments for me if you remember any other specific game where Will Levis really stood out and you're like, wow, this is going to be a franchise guy. Besides that one game on Monday Night Football against the Dolphins. And the Dolphins, we see where they are today. Now, I know they made the playoffs 2 years ago, but they are a shell of themselves from scoring 70 to what they do in the NFL today. And Brian Callahan, he kept talking just about this QB competition. And he said, right now, it's all evenly split. We're not competing right now. And that's the one big thing. We're just practicing. Practicing. That's all that matters. It will change probably a little bit when we get to OTAs, and we'll have 7-on-7 and some teamwork and stuff like that. But right now, we're not really going against anybody. So we just roll through it. They're roughly about all the way through, which is pretty standard from this time of the year. Exactly. It's pretty standard for this time of the year. And what I think about being positive is just make Cam Ward work for it. Don't just, I'll do that little cliche LeBron saying from back in the day, earned, not given. Make Cam Ward work to be the starter. Make him put in the effort. Don't just hand it to him. Because if you hand it to him, then he's probably going to get a little confident. And we know Cam Ward. We know that he is extremely humble. And it also, you don't tell him right off the bat, yeah, you're going to have to earn that starting job. It's going to build character. It's going to put a little chip on his shoulder. It's going to make him believe that, all right, I have to be the best quarterback that I can be. And I already think that Cam Ward thinks that. But if you don't guarantee him the starting job right away, that's going to also help him work harder and be harder as a teammate for his other teammates. We've seen him. The second he got on the Titans campus, he was getting ready, helping build chemistry. He was going out with his teammates on Thursday before rookie minicamp. He was doing all those things to just be a leader. And I think that also helps him, and it's going to help him down the line when he later becomes the starting quarterback, because he will be the starter. So I got to ask it because it's 50-50, and I'm going to laugh if I see some WLs down in the comments section. Pick a starter for me. Cam Ward, type CM, or WL for Will Levis. There's no doubt in my mind that Cam Ward will be the starter. You drafted him number 1 overall. He is so much more talented than Will Levis is. And we see what the Titans offense can be with Will Levis, and it's here. You have no way of going up, no potential whatsoever. There's no ceiling. The ceiling is the floor. No Michael Jordan saying the ceiling's the roof. The ceiling's the roof for Cam Ward. You can keep gradually going up and up and up. We're not even at OTAs yet, guys. It is so early in the offseason. OTAs start next week. And that's when I really think that you're going to start to see Brian Callahan kind of take a little step back on what he's saying and yeah, we're going to put Cam Ward number 1. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. And Brian Callahan, he also said this, and he's worried about just what's in front of the guys, getting these guys prepped for NFL-type play. He said, I think the biggest thing for young players is to worry about the next day. That's the most important part is just to keep focus small and don't worry about September. Worry about May, because it is May. We're worried about today's practice. We're about this afternoon's film session. And then you take the next day. Yeah, you worry about today because week 1 in September is a tough one. You're going all the way up to Denver, all the way to Denver. And if that's Cam Ward's first NFL start, which I believe it is, it's going to be a tough one going up against that defense, going up against a good veteran. I want to say veteran, but he's only in his second year. He's like 25, 26 years old in Bo Nix. I'll call him a veteran just because of how old he is. But you're going up against a team that is ready to pummel you and ready to get back to the playoffs because they made it last year. You're just trying to get there. That's all you're trying to do. At OTAs, though, expect for Cam Ward to be the starter. Expect for Cam Ward to be the starter. Expect Will Levis to be working out with the third team. And I don't think he's going to get first team reps whatsoever. But OTAs next week, that's exciting. A lot of teams are already starting OTAs. And we got to wait for the Titans, which is very, very, very annoying. But we're going to have a video for you guys on my takeaways for OTAs. So as always, don't forget to hit that big red sub button. Subscribe to Titans Today. I'm your host, Brett Alper. And as always, tighten up.